This force does not intend or aim to wage any wars against Russia, but it is a force that must guarantee peace and send a very clear strategic signal. It will be deployed within the framework of a ceasefire, not on the front line, but in areas that are currently being defined. Its purpose is to prevent any new major aggression and to involve the 26 states very clearly in the long-term security of Ukraine. This coalition of volunteers, which is a coalition for peace, has today indeed put on the table and clarified both a military and political commitment. The contribution of the 35 members is precisely to provide these guarantees of peace and security to Ukraine. The aim is first and foremost to ensure that in negotiations there are no limitations on the format or capabilities of the Ukrainian army. This is what we are defending and what we will continue to defend to the very end. And so we have put ourselves in a position to provide the means for the regeneration of the Ukrainian army, so that it can not only withstand any new attack, but also deter Russia from any further aggression. The second element of these guarantees of peace and security is what we have called reassurance forces. Indeed, today we have 26 countries that have formally committed themselves, with several others still clarifying their position, but 26 countries have pledged to deploy troops in Ukraine as reassurance forces, or to be present on the ground, at sea, or in the air, to provide this reassurance to the territory, to Ukraine and its territory the day after the ceasefire or peace is achieved. This force does not intend or aim to wage any wars against Russia, but it is a force that must guarantee peace and send a very clear strategic signal. It will be deployed within the framework of a ceasefire, not on the front line, but in areas that are currently being defined. Its purpose is to prevent any new major aggression and to involve the 26 states very clearly in the long-term security of Ukraine.
We currently possess a reasonably comprehensive and rough idea, a preliminary understanding of precisely how many individuals or entities have already formally and unequivocally agreed to participate and be part of this initiative. The presence, as I said, is varied. It is in the air, at sea, and on land. And we are also discussing an issue that, in my opinion, we will continue to discuss. This is America's backstop. We expect, and we are very grateful that America supports us and is part of the security guarantees for Ukraine. But as for the specific format, I'm not ready to tell you more details just yet. All our partners understand that we do not want and do not accept a repeat of the Budapest Memorandum, just as we do not accept the Minsk agreements. That is why we want legally binding security guarantees, which means that they need to be voted on in the parliaments of the respective countries. A meeting is necessary. It's not about desire, it's a necessity. We have supported any format, both trilateral and bilateral meetings. I believe that Russia is doing everything to delay things. Our American partners explicitly told us that Vladimir Putin personally invited me to Moscow. I firmly believe that if you genuinely want a significant meeting not to happen, you should indeed invite me to Moscow. So I think that the fact that Russia has started talking about a meeting is already not bad, but so far we don't see any real willingness from them. An end to the war. And as for meetings, I believe that mature leaders, after a meeting of this level, should come out with some kind of result. Preferably the end of the war.
And I can tell you today that we are ready. This coalition of volunteers, which was established on February 17th of this year, right here in Paris, and which continues the work we began in February 2024, also here, this coalition of volunteers, which is a coalition for peace, has today indeed put on the table and clarified with a military and political commitment the contribution of the 35 members in order to provide these guarantees of peace and security to Ukraine. If Russia continues to refuse concrete peace talks, which is the only conclusion we can draw from these choices, and from the repeated options since last March, then we will impose additional sanctions in coordination with the United States of America and will provide clear responses to this refusal to move forward. This is also what President Trump expressed earlier during this call. Our objective, because we have always stood on the side of the law, of true peace, that is, a just and lasting peace.